Live from Smoke on the Water, it's Straight Up with Sturge with your host Mark Sturgis on WCCP 1049 Talk Sports.
Now back to Smoke on the Water for more Straight Up with Sturge.
Welcome back in, 7:22 on this Monday night edition of Straight Up with Sturge, and we go straight to the guest line. So we bring in a Palmetto State legend, Coach Bobby Cremins. How we doing tonight, Coach?
I'm doing fine. I'm in Hilton Head. That's where I live now, and I'm headed to the Dallas on Thursday for the convention. I no longer can go to the coaches meeting, but I'm still a member of NABC, so I'll get to see a lot of people. Every coach in the country, assistant coach will be there, and it's always a fun time. And, of course, I'm looking forward to the 2 games on Saturday and then the championship game on Monday.
Yeah, before we go NCAA tournament, let's start a little bit locally. You know, you've done a fantastic job with your color analyst work with basketball. You've seen Clemson up close and personal. They play in a semifinal against SMU at 7 o'clock tomorrow night in Madison Square Garden. What's your thoughts on what Clemson has been able to do this year, being picked 14th in the ACC, finishing 7th, and making it all the way to the NIT semifinals?
Yeah, I mean, you know, 2 years ago, I had you guys at Miami, and you guys couldn't score, and you guys were really playing well, and Miami was struggling scoring because of your defense, but you guys couldn't score the basketball, and then they went on to beat you at Miami. And the big thing I thought coming into this year was, can you guys score the basketball? I saw you guys early in the Charleston Classic. You had a good win over Temple. And then you guys played the best I've seen you play in a long time against Davidson, a team that I'm very familiar with, having coached at College of Charleston against them. And Bobby McKillop's a great coach. And you guys you put it to them. And that night, you scored the basketball, and you were a complete team. Now, you lost in the finals to Mass, but you guys really showed me something that night. And then I thought you had a shot. And going into the season, you had some great wins. And then before I did your game against Maryland at home, I thought you guys were right there, and that you had that tough road loss to Wake Forest. You know, that win, I know winning on the road is always tough, but I thought if you guys could get that one and get home and beat Maryland and then beat Pittsburgh, I thought you guys would, and then, of course, you know, you'd have to win a couple games in the tournament. I thought you guys could sneak in. I was looking for that, who was going to be that other team from the ACC to sneak in the big dance. And you guys, you know, you beat Duke. You beat NC State, and you guys had something good going. And the killer was, at that point of the season, the killer was the Wake Forest game. I did not see the Pitt game, but I heard that was you had that game won. So I just think that road loss was really a killer. I'm really looking forward to watching the game tomorrow because you're playing against a team, you know, who should have been in the NCAA tournament.
That's right.
And it's a great opportunity for you guys. I said this all along. The NIT, the best thing about it is for teams who are young and don't have a lot of seniors. And that's exactly your case. And, you know, I coached in the NIT a few years ago against Wichita State. We got to the third round, and we had to play them in their home court. And I realized then, you know, Wichita State's pretty damn good, and they went on to win the NIT. So, you know, I know a lot of people think the NIT is irrelevant, but for you guys, a team that basically has no seniors, this could really, really be beneficial for you. And then you add your new recruits to this team, and you guys could really be back in the picture next year.
Coach Price Atkinson sitting in with Mark tonight. Really, really appreciate you joining us, and it's an honor to talk basketball with you tonight.
Thank you.
You know, you're from Brooklyn, and you've been around
The Bronx.
The Bronx, excuse me. I got to correct. That's right, the Bronx. You're familiar. You know Madison Square Garden. You know what that stage symbolizes, especially in college basketball. What is it like to get this opportunity for a coach like Coach Brownell and even Larry Brown, to bring his kids into the Garden tomorrow night to play in the NIT? What's that stage like, for your team?
Well, let me first say, be honest with you, the NIT has not gotten a lot of respect. I hate to say that. Mm-hmm. People call it the non-invitational tournament, and that upset me. I had this crazy idea in order to help the NIT. I thought the winner of the NIT should be given an automatic bid the following year. And everybody laughed at me, and they said, well, what if they stink the following year? Well, they get the last bid. They go to Dayton, and they get the 68th bid. And then the more I thought about it, why not give the winner of the NIT one unit from the NCAA, which would be $1.5 million. My whole point is I was trying to accomplish two things. I was trying to make the NIT more relevant. And the other thing I was trying to accomplish was these teams who get burned. They're right on the bubble and they get burned. A prime example would be SMU. It would give them something to play for after they got burned. We talk so much about student athletes, the great experience of playing the NCAA tournament. But, 68 into 360, that's about less than 20%. So let me start there by saying, that was my feelings in the NIT. Now, having said that, you're right. I have not seen the renovation of the Madison Square Garden, but my friends in New York tell me it's fantastic. And then I started to watch the NIT earlier, a week ago, in the first round, and I love the crowds. I love the crowds at your place. I saw sellout games at your place. I saw sellout games, of course, at SMU and Minnesota. And I felt great atmosphere with the NIT. So I'm feeling really good about the NIT because of the sellout crowd and the renovation of the Garden. I wish that the NIT winner could get something meaningful. Now, what would be meaningful is just pride. The fans, again, they just feel like, big deal. You won the NIT. I remember when South Carolina under Coach Dave Odom won NITs back-to-back. Now, for a coach, I thought that was one heck of an accomplishment. And, I would tell my friends, hey, that was great what South Carolina did. And they go, oh, big deal. They won the NIT. Mm-hmm. And that upset me. It really made me mad. I don't know what the answer is, but I would like to see the NIT more relevant. Now, again, this is a great stage for Clemson. I don't think you guys got burned not getting into the tournament. You almost made a serious run in the ACC. Mm-hmm. You beat my old school, Georgia Tech, in a great game in overtime. I was sitting there watching that game. And then, of course, if I could have told you guys and Brad Burnell that, look, this is the deal. You're playing Duke. You're going to be up one with 7 seconds to go, and Duke's got to go to the length of the court to score. Would you take it? I think I know exactly what you guys would say. You would say, hell yes.
Yeah,
and
slightly.
Rodney Hood got fouled, made the free throws. You guys got a good shot off, but you lost. So you guys had a great opportunity. And, again, you guys are a young team. And I think everything happening right now, the enthusiasm for college basketball, even with the NIT, the renovation of the Garden, the fact that you're playing an NCAA team in SMU, I think it can really benefit you guys by playing well tomorrow night.
We're talking with former head coach Bobby Cremins of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, College of Charleston, and quite frankly, let's not forget Appalachian State back there as well.
That's
and
right.
And Coach, this is, we just saw the elite, the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 this past weekend. Great time for college basketball. I want to ask you something from when you hung it up a few years ago. Have you noticed anything as an analyst that you wish you could change? And the reason I ask you that, we had Coach Pearl on with us last week, and he said sitting out of the game for a few years made him cognizant of some things that may change his approach at basketball now that he's getting back into the job.
Yeah, most of those things are off the court. I love college basketball. It's been my life. And, the one and done, I see us leaning towards, making the NBA Players Association really consider 20 years of age or two and done. I see that possibly happen. And that to me is a major, big issue in college basketball. What's saving college basketball when these kids leave, and I'm sure a bunch will leave this year, there's three things. The kids who stay, the kids like a Doug McDermott, the kids like a Shabazz Napier. The second thing is the great freshmen that come in. Now, this year's freshman was ridiculous. And hopefully next year's freshman will be ridiculous, too. And then the third thing is transfers. So many kids are transferring, it's become a little bit of a negative thing. But then when you see how well these transfers are doing and how meaningful they are to their team, you take a team like Dayton. They had a transfer from Ohio State and had a transfer from Georgetown. And those three things are saving college basketball right now. So most of the things I see are off the court. On the court itself, I was not excited about the block charge, the new emphasis put on that call. And I think that needs to be looked at. Once you make an emphasis to something, then most of the time they're going to call it. And I was listening to people early on say that the charge is going to become obsolete. And I know you guys didn't see me play at South Carolina, but my forte was defense, and I loved taking charges. And my job on offense was pass the ball to John Roach and get the hell out of the way. But I love taking charges, and I want to see the charge remain in the game. Now, the other night against Tennessee, Michigan, that was a big call, and it was a charge. And the call in the Arizona Wisconsin game, that was more they were side by side. One person was not in front of the other. So I was glad to see. I really thought it was a charge by the Tennessee player. So those are the things I look at.
Coach, you've taken a team to the Final Four, and I'll still say, growing up, I always wanted to be Dennis Scott in my backyard when I was shooting. Your 1990 team, as great as that Vegas team was that you guys lost to, I still say that your 90 team was still one of the best I've ever seen play. It was so fun to watch. But you've taken teams to the Final Four. You're getting to go to Dallas this weekend and see the Final Four again. Just kind of looking at the way that the teams that are there, what are your thoughts going in? How do you maybe see it shaking out?
Well, I think the game is getting as big as I don't know if it could get any bigger right now. I've been to like 45. I missed one year when I had my midlife crisis. When I became the head coach of South Carolina for 48 hours. I missed that year going to the Final Four, and I've started going to the Final Four since probably 73. I'm so proud of the game of basketball. I never realized it could reach this height that it's now reached. The money that's being made playing in domes, coaches' salaries. It's absolutely incredible. But I love the enthusiasm for the game. I love the popularity of the game. And last year in Atlanta, I thought they did a great job in the city of Atlanta. And I'm hoping the city of Dallas. I know it's North Dallas, so we're probably going to have to get in buses and go 30 miles instead of walking around the city. But I expect this to be really special. When you look at the teams that are there, Florida playing Connecticut is going to be incredible. Wisconsin playing, of course, Kentucky. I'm starting to think we're going to have an SEC national championship game. Now, I'm an ACC guy, and everybody's been bashing the SEC. Now, but I'm getting nervous. I think the way Kentucky's playing, you got a favor for Florida over Connecticut. We could very easily wind up with an SEC national championship game. And the last time they played, Kentucky had the ball down one with a chance to win. So it should be absolutely incredible, and I'm looking forward to it.
Coach, last question before we let you go. Seeing Coach Larry Brown out there and still coaching and having immense success, and you certainly had immense success everywhere you've been, real quick, I know you got to go, but does it give you any urge to maybe get back and give it one more final run somewhere in college, coaching again?
Yeah, I thought about it. Yeah, I had a little setback mentally and physically. I wasn't sure what it was. At first, I thought it could be something, bad physically, but it wasn't. I checked out fine, and I just needed some rest. Now I'm back. I would not jump right back into it just for the sake of getting more wins or doing that. If it's something special hit me between the years, I would consider it, but it would have to be something special.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you for your time tonight. Enjoy your trip out to Dallas. And listen, we have a little special place here at Smoke on the Water here in downtown Greenville where we broadcast from. Whenever you're up here in the upstate, please get in touch. We'd love to treat you here at Smoke on the Water.
All right. Well, this is a former Gamecock. Wishing the Tigers good luck tomorrow night.
All right, Coach. Thanks. We've enjoyed watching you all year and look forward to catching up with you again in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Absolutely. Thank you so much to Coach
Cremins.
Very,
very classy guy.
Yeah.
And, two things there. He was not taking a shot at his alma mater when he called that 48 hours his midlife crisis. I actually he said, I wanted to do what was right for my school, but unfortunately at that point in time, what was right for my school wasn't what was right for my family. And sometimes you have to weigh those risks out. The other thing was just being open and honest about, I knew something wasn't right with me. I thought it might have been health. And every once in a while, you just need a break. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that.
Yeah, it's nice to see, especially with somebody of Coach Cremins' stature, to take a step away. Don't let he loves college basketball. And as a college basketball guy, I just love hearing his passion and energy and love for the game. But you know what? That passion doesn't consume him so much where it overtakes his family. It doesn't overtake his health. Knowing when to step away. There are a lot of folks, look, the last thing coaches ever want to do is see things happen, physically to their colleagues. And, knowing when to take a step away and take care of yourself, not to try and battle through it where it may hurt you and affect your team, your school, your guys. That's just, it's very honest.
Listen,
to just say, look, I'm taking some time away. I'm stepping away.